Hey guys, Kevin here. What I'd like to do in this video is show you a plugin that I've had installed on my blog for quite a few years now. And I'd like to show you the free version and then talk about some of the premium add-ons that are available. And you can see in the background here that the plugin is called WP RSS Aggregator. And it's a pretty cool plugin. So what this can do is it allows you to import feeds, RSS feeds, atom feeds, and then put it all together, and then you can list items. If you look on my blog and go to the services page, this page is just, for telling people that I'm available for writing and things like that for company websites. And if you go down, I've shown an area here where I'll say, look, check these author profiles. You can see lots of articles that I've written, but underneath you've got my latest articles from around the web. And this part here, this is all powered by WP RSS Aggregator, and it's simply powered by just one simple shortcode. So I'll show you that just now. If I scroll down the article, you will see, where is it? There it's there. That's the shortcode that's powering that. Very, very simple. So you can actually use the shortcode in a template as well. They give you instructions how to do that. So here is how this page is powered. If you look down here, you can see these are all blogs that I've written for before. This one has a kind of invalid symbol because, well, basically the author URL for myself has been removed. They have removed the kind of author page, the WordPress author page, so it can't retrieve the RSS items for it for myself. If you look at like A-themes, for example, you can see here there's the website name, and then there's the author, and then there's the feed. And there's some cool options here. You can limit how many items. I pulled up, it explains how many items. So you can limit how many items are actually retrieved. This is about enclosure tags. There's like an RSS tags. You can only retrieve unique titles only. At the side here, you can see there's like a feed preview, and it shows you the last items. That's quite cool. Yeah, it just gives you an idea of what you'll be importing once you've added it. And there's options to pause the feed and things like that as well. So you can pause the feed at a certain time and all that kind of thing. It's quite cool. So the add now just takes you to the same page there. So under feed items, this is a list of all the items that are there, and this is what you saw on my services page. Shows you the name, the permalink, the date published, and in the last one it shows you the source. Now the blacklist, what this does is, if you can, I've never used this myself, but what I believe you can do is you enter the title, and then what you do is, when the import is going on, if an article matches that title, then it won't be imported. I believe that's how it works. I've never used it myself. There's a calendar which should show the latest articles that you've written. None will be there for me because I've not wrote an article for another blog for a while. And now we have the import and export settings. So let's say, for example, you've done a lot of research. You're going to create a website, a news aggregation website, and you've curated a list of 100 URLs or 1,000 URLs. You just take your list, plug it into here of all the feed names, and then you can import them, and it will add it to the sources page. This area here, you can export and then import the settings for the plugin, and you can actually use the WordPress importer to export feed sources. So once I could export all those feed sources and keep them backed up just by using the WordPress exporter, which you'll see here, and by adding using the WordPress importer plugin. It's quite cool. Settings. Now, I've only got the free version installed just now, so there's only, there's no tabs. There's only one settings page. When you install one of the premium add-ons that are available, you'll start to see lots of tabs along the top here, for different functionality, different features. And there's a lot of options here. You can see you can limit feed items, how many days, how old they are. how many weeks, years they are, etc. So, you know, if, for example, you don't want to import anything that's older than a month, you can do that. You can limit the number of items per feed. So, you know, say if you had a basketball feed, you would only want 10 items from each website, something like that. How often the feed is actually processed. What unique titles, custom feed. There's a lot of cool features here. I mean, a lot of these things, it's just like any WordPress plugin. The best thing to do is just start off with the default setting, and then when you want to tweak something, this is when you come to this page, and then you start, you know, changing what's displayed and what isn't displayed. You know, there's some, for example, there's a pagination type here, older and newer posts. I think I've had an older post in the past, and now I've changed it to page numbers. A lot of useful settings there. You can display the source and the date next to this. So when you list an item, you can show the article title, and then you could say next to it, for example, Kevin Muldoon's blog published on Christmas Day, that kind of thing. There's a debugging tool, and you can see here, because that website isn't valid anymore, it's generating a 404 error. So that helps you debug, you know, what's happening, things like that. It's pretty cool. You can, clicking on this, it will sync all feeds. So if I click update all feeds, it will start importing anything. It'll check that there's anything new. And if there was nothing there, see you see the little refreshing thing. That just means it's checking for each one to see if there's any new items. But it will. This is only if you want to manually do that. I went to the wrong page there. That's only if you want to do it manually. It will do it according to the interval anyway. It'll do it periodically anyway. You can delete and re-import all feeds and download the system log. That's helpful. You can restore default settings. There isn't any uninstallation tool. So if you ever deactivated the plugin, you would have to kind of remove the tables yourself. But hopefully that's something that we'll add in a future version. Documentation, FAQ. There's the support forum. I believe they drop by every now and then. Yep, they look to be quite active on the support forum on WordPress.org. And add-ons, but I'm going to go to the main page now. I'll just to clarify, I've been using this plugin for a few years, and I thought it'd be good to do a review of this. And I contacted the developers, and I said, listen, I'm thinking about doing a review. Could you send me the add-ons? And they did. They sent me all of these add-ons. Now, I'm not going to show you these in this. And well, I mean, I could show some basic ones. The reason I'm saying I'm not going to show you is because I haven't actually used these yet. So it's actually easier to just show you the screenshots than it is, because I'm not using these. I wouldn't really be showing you anything. Categories is something. Now this is, you know, if I activated that, actually I'll activate that just now. When you activate the categories one, it as the name suggests, all it does is allow you to set up categories for your feed sources. Now, I've written an article for this, and one of the things I say is that this should really be in the core functionality. That's what I think. I think it's such a small kind of thing that I think it should just be part of the core. The other one there, feed to post, I'll explain that in a minute, but that actually removed all my items, but I'll explain this all in a second. So it's easier to explain the add-ons here because, as I said, I am using this plugin in a live website, and you know, for the functionality you're going to see here, I'm not actually using it, so easier to show you here. So add-ons. Let's get to it. Here we go. So there's a few bundles here, right? So you can actually purchase add-ons on an individual basis, or there's two bundles, but the bundles don't actually contain everything. There's a few of them outside the bundles. And to be honest, the bundles, they save you a little money, but it's not like a massive discount. For example, in the Simple Feeds bundle, if you buy it for a single site, I think it would be $90 for a single site for buying them individually. Each of these add-ons are like $30 per single site. So instead of paying $90, you'd be paying $70. It's okay, but I think it'd be good to get a larger discount personally. So I'll go through these one by one. So this one, you can see the licensing at the side, single site. So it'd be $70 if you've got the one website. And you get, the savings are pretty good once you buy multiple licenses. A license for multiple websites. Excerpts and thumbnails. Now, this was one that they sent me. I gave it a try, but I didn't set it up right. But the easy way to explain it is really just to show you the screenshots. This is the kind of thing it will help you do. You can set up thumbnails. It will pull it from the featured image or from any other images on the page. And without a doubt, if you're going to, the way that I've got it, I'm just only displaying the title of the article. Here you've got the excerpt, so you've got like a paragraph or two about the article, and you've got that image. And if you ever see a website that doesn't list images next to articles, it looks really unprofessional. So I think it's good that they go hand in hand. I think this is probably one of the best add-ons that's available. And you can see a lot of the settings there. You can set the excerpts limit, the read more text. You can enable social media buttons underneath. And you can change the thumbnail size, link the thumbnail to the permalink, etc. It's pretty cool. You can also set a default thumbnail image. And again, you can see, because this is the thing, this is why I was saying I can't actually show you this on my website, because I'm not using the feed in this way. If I was setting up a news website, I could have, set it up and, set up feeds, etc. to show you that. But I think it's easier just to show you the screenshots. Categories is the one that I just showed you. Very, very simple. It just adds categories. Should be in the core, personally. Keyword filtering. Now, this is a really cool plugin. I'm forgetting they've linked to the wrong page there. I emailed them about this. Keyword filtering. So keyword filtering was the last one there. Okay. So this is the other add-on that's in the simple feeds bundle. And again, the screenshots highlight how it works. When the way it works is you put in all your feeds. So say you put in kevinmuldoon.com and then all these other blogs. You can say, before you import anything, only import if it contains these phrases or these words or phrases, but don't import if it contains these phrases. When you're importing from a lot of different sources, this will help you ensure that you only import content from the correct websites. It's pretty cool in that respect, and you can do it with tags as well. So say, for example, there was a technology website, but your website only focused on cameras, then you can make sure that you only imported content and news that was related to cameras. Very, very cool feature. The other bundle is the advanced feeds bundle. I was ready to call it just advanced bundle. 3 add-ons in this one as well. Keyword filtering is the same one that was in the other one. And I can see why they've thrown it in. It does complement the other 2. So the main one here is feed to post. And essentially what this is an auto blogging solution. What it'll help you do is, instead of just, if I show you here, this is one I actually tried and I had to reverse it because of the way it works. What this does is it imports the items, and instead of just doing it like an item like this, it converts each of these to a blog post. Now, it uses the same URL. So when I imported all of these, I imported all of those permalinks, all those articles that I'd written for other people, and it created a blog post based on it with the excerpt, not the full article, just with the excerpt. And it deleted all the items. Basically, if you use feed to post, it doesn't display as an item like that. It doesn't display a list. It displays full blog post. And it gives you a lot of control over what you can do with it. Look at all the settings here. You can change the status, from post, or you can save it as a draft if you want to edit something, etc. It's a huge amount of customization options for this. Now, I'm not a fan of auto blogging. I don't think many bloggers are, But for a news aggregation website, this is something that could actually be quite useful, because you could import the news and then people can see the news and then comment on the news, and they can still link to the full article. So I don't think you're doing anything wrong there. You're sending traffic to the original website. So I can see a lot of ways in how this could be used as a news website, as a content aggregation website. But the next one is one that I don't really agree with. I mean, I'm speaking as someone who has been writing articles for a long time, and even going back 11, 12 years, I had people stealing my content on a daily basis and publishing it as their own. Now, back then, that was a bigger problem than it is now. What this plugin does, it works with feed to post, and what it does is, instead of just retrieving the excerpt, it will go to the full website and it will go to the original source, and it will get all the content, all the text, and all the images. Essentially, it will retrieve the full article. Now, as I said, this was something that I dealt with this quite badly 10, 11 years ago, and basically at the time, search engines didn't have the act together. They didn't, realize how to deal with it all. And this is why auto-blogging and content spinning became very, very popular. And there was a few occasions where I wrote a very long article, and then other people would copy the article, using software, and then their article was ranked higher, which is ridiculous, clearly. And I got my own back on them. I would do some things like I would set up hot linking so that when folk hot linked one of my images, it would display something very disgusting, like a dog turd or something like that. But today, I don't see what the incentive is to do this, to just copy a full article from someone else, because search engines aren't going to send you the traffic for it. And if you're doing it a lot, they're probably going to penalize you and just, put you on page 50 of the search engine rankings. So although this is a really cool tool, maybe some people can use it in a certain way, but personally, I think if you're trying to make money online, I would stay clear of this kind of thing, because it's not going to get you anywhere. As far as pricing goes, the advanced feed bundle is $150 for a single site, $300 for up to 5 sites, and $600 for up to 20 sites. And at that point, you really are some sort of auto-blogging superstar if you've got 20 websites that are spinning content and retrieving content from other people. And on the subject of content spinning, well, they actually support 2 different plugins. Now, if you've ever heard of content spinning, what happens is, say I write an article, someone can come to my website, they can look at that article, they can retrieve it automatically using software. Now, as I said, the search engines know that that article was mine, it was published first, it was indexed first. What Word.ai and Spinner Chief will do is they will spin the content, change words around, and it'll change, it goes through like a thesaurus and it changes, I don't know, it'll change certain words to other words, tries to make it so that it still reads as if a human wrote it. Again, this isn't something that I would do. I think some SEO companies still use it, but you need to pay for these services as well. I believe Spinner Chief has got a free account. It does. One-time fee. And you can see there, it just spins all the content to try and make an original article. Not something, that was $50 a month, $347 a year. I do realize a lot of search engine companies still use this kind of thing. So that someone out there must be making money from it in some way. But I think for 99.9% of us, I don't think this is the kind of route to go down. But, maybe some of you would find use out it. Obviously, I'm talking as a blogger who has had his content stolen for over a decade. So for all the people that are using content spinners, this is for you. Get it right up you. Okay, there's one other one at the end. Widget. And this is just a simple widget. Now, if you look in the installation page, it shows you that there's a shortcode and you can put it in a template using PHP code. But there's also what am I talking about? Oh, the shortcode. Yeah, what I was going to say was, if I find this plugin for you, I use a plugin to, in fact, it's just called shortcode widget. I use a plugin called shortcode widget. So if you want, you can just display them. I'll link to it in my article. You can just display the widget. There it's there. Shortcode widget by Gagan Deep Singh, and it allows me to display shortcodes in a widget. So I could make my list of items that I had there on that page, and I could display it in my sidebar or in a widget zone. But if you're wanting to look a little bit better, Then this is where the add-on for the widget add-on comes in. It's quite cheap actually, $25, $50 and $150. And in fact, I don't think and I think that's the same. Yeah, that's the same price as those integration plugins as well. And if you look here, you can see here that you've got a lot of control over what is displayed as far as the style, the excerpt, the thumbnail, and things like that. And you can see here that it looks a lot better now. As useful as it would be to use this shortcode widget plugin so that you can display a list, there's no denying that this widget looks much, much better and it's more practical. So that's another add-on that I would recommend. It looks pretty good as far as what it can do. It can display items in your search bar and in your widget area. Sorry, there's a lot of different ways that you could use this. You know, imagine that you've got a company website where you've got 10 different blogs in the company. You could, you know, link to different blogs using this to link to all the blogs in your network, that kind of thing. There's lots of legitimate reasons to use the software. I think the content spinning and the feed RSS thing, that's more about SEO companies, etc., trying to get traffic. But as an aggregation plugin, I think this is really good. I really like it. I'm going to say I'm biased, but I mean, I have been using this for 3 or 4 years, I think, on that services page, and I use this plugin without a doubt. I use this in a very, very simple, very specific way, but that, you know, this can do so much more than what I'm doing. I've used it just to create a simple list of the articles that I write other places, but you can use it for news websites. You can use it to aggregate content in your sidebar and your website from a number of different places, and it's really, really good. I've never experienced any bugs with it. The only time I had any problems ever was today when I installed that add-on, the feed to post, and the reason was I didn't know that it would convert all those articles and all those list items to posts. The plugin was doing exactly what it was designed to do, and I just deleted all those articles it created, and then, you know, it worked again. I've never had any problems with it. The developer seems to offer a lot of support for it, so yeah, I would highly recommend this. Now, as I said, you know, you can use this in a lot of different ways. If you go onto their website, you will find let's say use cases. There are some examples. I mean, throughout this video, I've kind of just talked about how I've used it and how you could use different things. So here's some examples. WP Mayor is using it to aggregate WordPress jobs from various sources. Build a community blog or website. Import posts from other websites. Launch a weekly newsletter. Show upcoming events. That's another good one. So, for example, you could show lots of upcoming events in your industry. Corporations, business news. Import YouTube videos. That's another thing. When you import YouTube videos, you can actually decide whether it links to the YouTube video or whether it's embedded. So that's pretty cool. Show the latest Instagram photos. It's really, really cool. Look at that, you know, showing you all the different, a good event. Right, okay, so Mobile Nations. Let's check out how they're using it. You know, I probably should have done this at the very, very start of the video to illustrate what it can do, because I imagine there's people at the start that aren't watching the video right now. So where are they? All right, I think they've changed it. But yeah, that's quite cool how they've done it. That's exactly how I said if you had a network of blogs that you could link to it, and that's what they've did. They've linked to all the different articles across their network, and they put it in a box like that. So yeah, there's lots of cool ways you can use this, and it's really up to you. As I said, I'm using this in a very, very simple way. But all in all, I'm very, very happy with the plugin. It's very easy to use. I've not experienced any problems with it. The add-ons, I tested them and they seem to work okay. But again, the reason I didn't show them is because I'm not actually using them. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this look at WP RSS Aggregator. You can download it free of charge through your WordPress admin area or using or on WordPress.org. So go on to WordPress.org and you will find it. Search for WP RSS Aggregator and you will find it. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you get any questions, please do post them below or on Rise forums, or you can leave a comment on my blog article as well. which I will link to on YouTube. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.